Alright guys, so I hope last class recording is received. If not received, please ping your details in the chat box. I'll forward with the first and second recording in the coming mail. If already received, no issues. Those who are not received the recording, the course content, please share your details. I'll forward the first recording and course content along with second recording. Okay. So yesterday we discussed some basic details. What is Azure? What is the private cloud? What is the on-premises? Okay, what is the BI? How BI works end-to-end process? Okay, this picture we are discussed in the last class. Sure, if people are not received first recording, I'll forward definitely. So this picture we discussed about BI process. Okay, in the last class, what we discussed is what exactly work in real time. Okay, why we required BI developers. See, BI developers definitely required when business is started, any business, to do some kind of analysis, to do some kind of decision making. We required it. To give them proper and accurate some analysis, for that we are learning this some basic tools. We are not coding anything here. We are learning about the tool. In that tool, we are developing it based on the business requirements. Whatever you are going through the BI tools, which I discussed in the last class, like Power BI, MS BI, these all are tools. So there are many other tools that we have in the market. These all are tools. We are just learning about how it works, the functionality, what input we give, what output we receive, some terminologies, under that developments. So the major here we are playing with data, whatever the format that comes from our source side. Yesterday we used one example called DMart, a store supermarket. As customer comes to purchase some products, the moment they do some kind of billing and all, we capture that information in our live system. The system may be depend upon their budget. They use files. If you observe, 10 to 12 years back, in bank also, what they are using, they're using Excels. If you do deposit also, if you do a credit also, you do create new account, you do many or whatever operations you do in the bank level, they maintain Excel. Later, after 5 o'clock, once the blank is closed, that files is getting updated in the live server or in the databases. Then next day, what you're doing? In next day, you're going to the bank and you're making through passbook, you're checking that entry, whether you received or not the amount, or whether it's credited or not, whether it's debited or not. Nowadays, at the same time, whatever it is happening here, you're checking in the live server. Whatever it is debited or credited, you're checking through directly in account. So that through live server, that is we call as OLTP live server. So this is not our headache. Whatever they are developing it, let them develop. This is not our part. Our work will start from your extraction method. The data, whatever it is there, any format data, it may be a CSV, TXT, databases, JSON file, Excel file, API REST, API, whatever the data is. Our responsibility is to get the data, process them into meaningful information that understand by the business users or owners to take a business decisions. This is what the BI developer role is. We extract them, any tool you can use, whether SSIS, whether the data factory. The data factory parent tool is SSIS. Data factory not came directly in the market. The data factory parent tool is SSIS. If you know SSIS, it is easy. If you know data factory, you are learning from scratch, the SSIS is easy. So on the top of SSIS, this tool is developed, the data factory. Data factory is not like the tool is launched directly. On the reference of SSIS, you can call as the advanced version of SSIS. The advanced version of SSIS ETL tool is data factory. The advanced version of SSIS is data factory. The advanced version of SSRS is Power BI. So this tool are not came directly. So on the reference of this tool, this is developed. If you know this tool, you can go easily. If you know SSIS, you can go easily. So definitely we are going to touch this point as well. We're going to discuss about these topics also in our regular class. So based on that, we extract the data, we transform and we load this one. Now we're going to discuss whatever we discussed in the last session, how the data is extracting, loading, that we'll see in a practical session. So in company level, when you talk about on-premises, all are you setting in on-premises? You're required to install Visual Studio to work with this. You cannot directly create a package. You cannot directly create SSIS. You require Visual Studio. You require some softwares to install in your machine in company level. You require some SQL Server license. You are not going to use free version here in the company level when you are dealing with the clients. You will not get full features. They use enterprise. If you go in any company, they use enterprise editions. Reporting also, if you want to publish, you require services, cloud services, Power BI services. So these are some premiums. So that you are not maintaining it in your company level. That you are not maintaining it. The maintenance is getting reduced through cloud. Whatever the account you want, whether you want storage account, whether you want ETL, whether you want databases, whether you want other things, whatever you want, you can get it and you can purchase for rental use as being based on your time period. You are using for 1 month, get it installed for 1 month. You are increasing the size of the databases, increase at the same time. You are increase the storage account, increase the storage account. Very easy to increase. But in company level, it is challenging. Many challenges will come. Infrastructure, the architecture will support or not, the performance will lag. Many things are there. But here, you don't need to worry. Microsoft is going to take care about that. But finally, whatever you are doing it, that we are maintaining at last in the data center. Whatever you are installing it, even you are taking as a system also from the Azure, that physically we are installing it. You are taking a storage, physically we are installing it. You are taking a data factory, we are installing it. You are acting like a virtually. You are sitting over here. You are accessing this cloud, but background, the team is working behind of you. Okay. So this is what in the last class we discussed, how exactly it works, what is the public cloud, what is the private cloud, what is the hybrid cloud. The same kind of setup I'm going to do in a cloud. So that doesn't mean, as I said, in the cloud means just we are storing, we are accessing like a virtually, but physically data center is there. Now, let's take basic example. To develop this ETL, to extract the data, what we require? First, we require storages. We require SQL Server. Then only I can extract the data, then I can store it. To install SQL Server also, you require some setup files. You cannot install directly. Okay, you cannot install directly. You require some installation process. You need to know installation process. What version of SQL Server you are installing it. Okay, you require setup file, whether in your local system, you're going to install for practicing like developer editions. There are other editions like evaluation, enterprise, express. So these are the steps you have to follow one by one step. You have to check whether your system is properly updated with all the Microsoft updates or not. If not, you have to update all the softwares. You have to check each and every product. Okay, the firewall settings. In case if any of this is not properly installed, it's going to fail. Then you're going to install what features of SQL Server you want. Okay, and in real time, you'll have a product keys. In real time, you will be having the versions. So in real time, you need to have different editions. It is not a free of cost, it is a license-based cost. Okay, it is a license-based. You have to give product for free. You can use evaluation for 180 days or developer edition, which is always free. Please mute your mics. I'll answer in all questions. All right. So these steps you have to follow one by one. You have to install manually. Then features you have to install in SQL Server. What features are required? This all you have to go through it. Mixed mode, SQL Server authentication. To connect to the SQL Server, you have to provide password. Many things are there. And in you are installing, where you are installing it? In your C drive. If tomorrow C drive is full, you are loading the data in SQL Server. The SQL Server files are loading in the C drive. If tomorrow C drive is full, how are you going to connect another disk? This is again challenging. But in the cloud, whenever you want, whatever the feature you want, whenever the storage capacity you want, you can increase at any time. The same feature, I'm going to install in cloud. See how it is flexible it is. So for that, first you need to connect to the store. The store name they have given here as Azure. So for that, you required first is account. Okay. First, to connect with Azure, you required account. Okay. The account are, as I discussed in the last class, there are three types of account. Pay as you go, student account, which is give you $100 and this is completely your based on your pocket monthly based billing. Okay, this is monthly billing. So company use this account. I'm going to show you with this account only. Free account is Microsoft giving you $200, around 13 to 15,000 credits or amount they are giving you to purchase any kind of softwares, any kind of service. You no need to pay from your pocket. They are giving you to practice like a marketing part. Okay. If you understand, then go with your account as premium. So to connect with this one, we require these accounts. Okay. So first go to the portal. There's a portal. Portal.azure.com. Directly you're going to log into the main portal. Don't worry, I'm going to show you step-by-step creation process. How to create and everything, I'll show you step by step. So what is the requirement? Our requirement is to try to relate this picture with our picture, which we given. We have a files, we require TTL and we require SQL Server. For SQL Server, here also same thing in picture also. The data in the different storages, you have data factory, you have to load in this account. Once you load the account, these people they start their jobs. Business team will refresh the data. whether in mobile, whether in app, whether in tablet, desktop, anywhere. Once you have a data here only, then only this team will work. If you don't have this data, what these people will do? They'll wait for your response. So the manpower will require more here in data factory. Not only just loading the data, every day you monitor, every day we get challenges, every day we get new data, every day we get different format data. There's the chance of data getting failed. So you have to solve this. All these things we are going to discuss in our regular class. So our work here is to extract the data from file and to load in the SQL Server. So for SQL Server, to create SQL Server, to create a SQL Server is the easy method. Simply I'll go to in the portal, I'll search here as a SQL database. In only one page, I'm going to create the SQL Server with the database. But in on-premises, you have to install, you have to maintain, you have to take care about drives space, you have to think every kind of all the properties installation properly done on the features. Now here in only one page, your SQL Server is running. So don't worry, I'm going to explain the subscription resource group quickly. I'm creating here. This is like a folder. This is like my project. Vinay take resource group as a project. Under that, I want Azure SQL DB. Azure SQL DB, or you can take as customer DB. Up to you, whatever the name you want, you can take it. This DB is going to attach in server. That is Vinay Tech SQL server. That's it. And I am hosting in this location. Right now, you are a free account user. You can select any location. Here, where you are selecting the location in normal installation process, you are selecting C drive. Right? Here, I am selecting my East US location. How I am connecting with user ID and password in the on-premises. Here also, I will connect with user ID and password. My user ID is Vinay Tech SQL Server. Password I am giving it. That's it. Click OK. Your server will ready. Now select the space. How much GBs of RAM you want, how much disk you want. So minimum you can select 2 GB of disk, or you want no 2 GB is not enough. Then go with standard. 2 GB, 15 GB, 30 GB, 40 GB, 100 GB, 250 GB. This is also not sufficient. Go with high premium. And this is also not sufficient, then go with high premiums. Many things are there. Now let's suppose, for now, I'll just select as a 1 GB. Let's see whether I can change to other accounts or not. I'm selecting only 1 GB. This is giving me cost. This is per month. Not the cost will detect now. It will detect per month. What is all these things? I'll explain you. For now, I'm creating it. So backup also you are ready. You no need to take a separate team for taking a backup. Backup is getting ready locally. Just review and create. That's it. Click on create. See, it is getting deployed. You can only check through notifications. It is getting deployed. You don't need to do anything. It is getting deployed. The background, what system they are using, what infrastructure they are using, you don't need to worry about that. Where they are storing, what level they are storing, what degree they are storing, you don't need to worry. Everything will take care. Even the data, something got corrupted on that location, they have a backup. Redundancy you are taken already. So in one page, I'm creating a SQL server, database is ready, the space you are allocating. So you can see how maintenance cost you are saving it in the cloud. The company level, why they are moving to the cloud? Maintenance. People are doing work from home. Next coming years, mostly the offices will be work from home only. Infrastructure, maintenance cost. Now let's go this one. I am making ready this service, SQL service getting ready. Now I want this tool. I want the file. This is getting deployed. Now let's get it deployed this also. Simply I'll create. Before going to data factory, can I create one storage, blob storage, where I can store my file? So here I'll create parallelly, I'll work. Parallelly, I can work in both the tabs. Here it is getting deployed. Here I'm going to create my storage account. This is also simply I'll create how you are storing in your drive, same way you can store here. There are 3 to 4 types of storage. Okay, in my project, I am storing my data Azure storage. New. Okay, and I'm just selecting the blob service. Don't worry, I'll discuss about 3 parts. Because here there are 3 different versions that we have. Earlier it was started with blob, then come across with the new storages, they come across with the data lake concept. What is that? We have in the document, step by step I prepared. Okay, so you can go through it once. I'll show you. Okay, let me just create single step. Click on create. This is also getting deployed. 2 services are ready. This account is ready. This account is ready. Now let's create this account. Very simple. Go again portal. It is deployed successfully. The SQL server is ready. Succeed. Do you want to see? Just go here. This is my DB. Under DB, this is my server. Do you want me to connect my SSMS? SQL Server Management Studio? Yes, definitely I'll connect. Okay, definitely I'll connect in my local network. See here. So this thing I'm connecting in my local system. How you'll be connecting your local system? See here. So today, how 1 GB you allocated it? Copy. This is my server name. This is my server name. What is the username? Is my this one, and the password which I given. The database I'm connecting it in from my local system. Customer DB. Yeah, I don't have any tables. I don't have any tables. Can we create one basic table to load the data? Yes, definitely. I'll show you. Before that, let's see the compute storage. You selected how much GB? 1 GB, right? If you observe here in the overview, if you see the monitor, how much GB you use, how much space is there, what is the maximum GB is there, all details are there. You no need to write any SQL query for that to check your storage capacity. You have maximum 1 GB you can store. Now you want to increase, just go compute. And how much GB you want to increase it. You want to increase your 2 GB, increase this 2 GB. If you want high level of GB, you can change it. Just click on approve. That's it. Go and check in the monitor. 1 GB is getting scaled. This is something called scale in and scale down. Whenever it required, go. Whenever transactions are getting increased, increase that time. So scale in and scale down. Now you can see my database is ready. It is having 2 GB capacity. And if you want, I can create a table. I know how to create table. This is my customer data. I have a customer ID, customer name, customer amount, customer location. That's it. An empty table I'm creating. If I know, I'll write a query. If I don't know, right and click and create a table. That is the flexibility of Microsoft tools. Even though if you don't know, you can create a table. Here, this customer data. What is that customer data? Right? No data. Now, what we are going to do? We are going to get the data by using your data factory tool. The data, wherever it is there, we are going to process in our SQL Server database. In the table we just created a structure. I want customer ID data, customer name, customer amount, customer location. Now, whatever is there, they'll write a query in the Power BI, they'll maintain drag and drop features, and again they show the data. So now we are going to manage the data. See how. So what we have ready with our SQL Server, we are ready with our tool, that is a storage account. See, there are different type of storages. Let's suppose my data is in the blob service, blob storage, data logs. So what I'll do, I'll upload some data here in the cloud. I'll upload here. Guys, are you following? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so here what we'll do, we'll go with the desktop, Azure data. I have some data logs. So can I take this data which having CSV file, which having this huge volume of data? I'll just open this file and I'll upload it. So what is blob storage? Okay, blob storage is same like your drive. You can store any format, any size of data. Generally, what you do in Google Drive, you give access to someone, right? Here also I'll give access to someone. How you're going to give access? Through link. Here also I'll give you link. Can I give you link? Go to the properties. Here I copy and I'll paste in the chat box. Can anyone check this link is able to access or not? Just open that link and let me know if you are able to access.
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, right? Yes. Because I have given you drive link, but I have not given you the access. Now I'll change your access. I'm going to tell that no, let it be on specific file level. Now you try and check with the same link. Now it will download that CSV file. If it is text file, it will show you on the fly only. Now it will download that file with you and it will show you that file. Is it?
Yes, sir. It is downloaded.
Because I have given access, same way in Drive. This is something storage. What is storage? How it is accessing? How it is working? That will see in detail level because we have access keys. Access keys, connection strings, SAS key. Many things are there. What is all these things we'll discuss in Dragon Glass. But for now, we are just focusing on this picture. Our main goal is to extract this data, clean the data, and properly to load the data that can be understood by this team and to show the data in the different format. This is what our picture is. This is a requirement. This is company requirement. They given a file. From where they are getting a file? File is getting punch from application, our DMART application. The data is coming from application in the file. I am not loading in the file. Application is getting loaded in the file. That file data I am extracting and loading into this database. I'm not, for now to show you, I just uploaded it. This data is, I'm not going to do anything. Whatever the data is there, I'm not going to do anything with this data. Somebody will upload, somebody will take care about these files from application. This is application data. Whoever is entering the input, that is storing in the file. Now from this file, because I cannot analyze the data, can I analyze the data? Can you ask me if you want to show the maximum salary? Who is that person holding the maximum salary? Can I show, can I get this from file? Yeah, for 10 records, 15 records is okay. No, sir, we can get it. I can show you, I can get this data. I'll show you what is the maximum salary. How? Sir, I have Excel. I know Excel. I'll put the data in Excel. I'll show you what is the maximum salary, right? You will ask me, you want maximum salary now? I'll show you the maximum salary. So here is the maximum salary. What is that, comma, right? What maximum salary will provide you maximum salary. How you want employee wise maximum salary? Yeah, maximum salary. Then I'll just put it, see, this is all our employees wise salary. You want maximum? We'll give you maximum. What is it, maximum salary? We all order by this, all this maximum salary for each location. So you want only the maximum, you'll get only maximum. But this Excel also will not support more than 10 lakhs. If you put it 5 lakhs also, you do apply some pivot and all, it completely got. So in real time, the data might comes in millions and billions. So that is what we are loading here. And with this, whatever query you do, whatever the questions you ask to the database, it will give you result. So that is what we are loading, whatever the format of this data is there in the SQL Server. So now SQL Server is ready, database is ready, file is ready. Now let's go and create the data factory. It is the ETL tool. See here, very simply, just click on create. Don't worry about all these options. I'll discuss detail level that test the data factory. It is a two type of versions, version 1 and version 2. Version 2 will support data flow, Power Query, CDC. Many features are there in version 2. Nowadays, all are by default using version 2. There is no version 1. What is the version 1? What is the version 2? What is the comparison? We'll discuss in regular. See, I'm just in one page, I'm clicking it and getting it deployed. You don't need to do installation, many things. Okay. Review and create. Which class? That room. Okay. So this is my studio. Okay. All right. So where we are, yeah, data factory is created, right? So let's take the data factory and let's do the development. Launching the data factory. What we want to do, through data factory, we'll create one pipeline which serves the data, which engage, and it will transform and load the data here. Okay. So this is my pipeline. Don't worry about those options. Detail level we'll discuss. So this is my new pipeline. The pipeline is about moving the data from the blob storage to Azure SQL database storage. This is my pipeline. Name. I want to copy the data. This is my activity. Activity is nothing but the task, the work which you're giving to the data factory. You're giving some task, you're giving some activity to the data factory pipeline, saying that copy the data from my source to the destination. And if the different columns, do the mappings. The column here is different, the column name here is different. So do the mappings. Tell them ID I'm getting from source is customer ID, but in my table I'm having ID. That means I want to copy the data in mappings, customer ID data to ID. That is mappings. So what is my source? My source is file. That is my, see, this many sources, you won't get any other tools. Wherever the data is there, in whatever the data is there, you can get in all the sources. Many sources are there compared to others, which we not even used. Those many sources are there. Those many format, structure, semi-structure, unstructured, whatever the data it is. Whether it's the other databases, SAP, Oracle, whatever it is there. So this many unstructured, semi-structured, RDBMS, NoSQL, all many things are there. Other storages, Salesforce, Oracle, Snowflakes. Okay, if you want other databases, files, general, this one APIs, NoSQL databases, services, or different apps. So this many sources, this many flexible that we have. You just need to know the connection. If I am loading the data from blob, I just need to create a connection. What format of file it is. So this is not there in earlier in SSIS, ETL. SSIS will support only structured data. Now you have a semi-structured data, unstructured data, structured data, other files we have, Parquet files we have, XML files we have. So whatever the format of this, just click on continue. This is my source, which is data set, and it is coming from the which server? It is coming from. Don't worry, all this I'll show you with the step by step. Okay, this is my account name. So under this account, that is under this account, we have a container, data logs container. So under this account, if I browse it, I'll get data logs container. Inside data log container, we have a file, right? That file I am selecting it. That first file having the first row as a header. I'm checking that also. Click on continue. Do you want to see the source data? Just preview it. This is my source data. Now see the columns. Here is coming employee ID, employee name, employee salary, address. But what is my data in having in my table? Customer ID, customer name. Columns are different. Okay, source is ready. What is your sink? Sink is nothing but your destination. Source is ready. Sink is we need to configure. Okay, click on new SQL server. That is Azure SQL server database. This many servers we have, and I have a one customer table. That is customer table data set. And where is that server is? That is through link service. There is auto integration runtime. Okay, all this is my Vinay Tech SQL server. My server name here is Vinay Tech SQL server. Under that, there is a customer DB I want to select. So under that, there is a customer DB there. So what is the user? Name Vinay Tech SQL server. Provide the password, user ID password, test the connection. If it succeed, click on page. That's it. You need to know all these credentials. If you have credentials, you can load anywhere. So how many tables are there in our database? In this database, only one table, customer data. You can see here also it will show you only one data, one table. That's it. Click OK. Can I do the mapping? Because here I am getting employee ID, here I am a customer ID. Import the mappings. Simple. It is the intelligence, it will import that mappings. Sometimes it may match, sometimes it may.
సార్
Employee ID, customer.
అవును నేను లేట్ అయింది కదా అక్కడే
Mute
అక్కడికి మీరు కారు కాబట్టి త్వరగా వచ్చారు బస్ అయితే మీరు
your mics. Salary, customer amount, address, customer location. Yeah, everything is mapping. Done. Now validate if anything is missed. If it is not missed, then start loading the data. Now what it will do? It will start extracting the data. It will punch in this one. So it is getting started. So like this, we have many other activities, many other different loading process, many other different methods that we have: full load, delta load, incremental load, CDC load, SCD load. Okay, it is succeed. You can see what we did. We have extracted the data. Our pipeline, data factory pipeline, is extracted the data, and it will process into this SQL server with so and so record, how many files it is read from this one, and how many records are there, how much duration it is used to load the data, how much transactions unit it is charged. These all are details captured. Do you want to see the data? Just go in the SQL server and just query it. See, 25 record is processed. Now, if you want max salary, yes, definitely I'll give you max C amount. Here's my max amount. What is it? 65,000 something we received, right? 65,000. So in the millions of billions, whatever the data is there, you can get max salary, some salary, whatever the queries you want to, you can write it. You are giving some input to this server, and it will give you a response in the output. Once it is ready, connect with your Power BI. Connect with other reportings. So like this, we have many other requirements, many other things we have. Now what we have did, we extracted, we loaded in one SQL, Azure SQL server. Now, tomorrow you'll get a chance to work with the data lake. When the data is there in the data lake, you have to extract from the data lake, you have to process in the SQL server again. So like this, there is some process company level, they maintain it. Each company, they have a process. How to extract the data? First, where to load the data? After loading the data, from where to extract again, where to load the data? Whatever operations you are doing it, from where to where, finally where to load the data. This is final target. To get the data here, you are attaching multiple pipelines. So this is a kind of flow which company or they, before development, what they do, they first inject in the staging layer. From staging, they filter the data, and from filtering the data, they move one staging SQL server. Then finally, they may move into the production. Directly, they move in the production. Because this, we should not get failed anything in the production. Whatever it get failed it here in the staging layer only. If you want to fail it here. If the data is mismatched, fail it here. Do it changes here only, which we will not touch anything here. This is our final. The reporting will done from here. The reporting will done from this final data. So before getting to this data, this process, this method we follow. Okay. Understand what we do in data factory. So there are many other activities. There are many other link services. There are other copy data activities, store procedure, get metadata activity, variable activity, set variable activity, or lookup activity. There are many things are there. And there are some integration runtimes. These are the connections which we created. You can store your code in the GitHub. You can store the code in your ARM template. You can schedule them for daily use. monthly, weekly, minutely, hourly. You can create a parameters, you can create a data, and you can get the data from on-premises. There are integration runtime. By default, it is running default capacity. Your data is on-premises. Get the data from on-premises. You want to run SSIS, do the lift and shift. So these are some basic details which we are going to discuss in our regular class. Okay? Any questions, any doubts here so far?